Planting and gardening can be a challenge, and we've got just the thing to help you. A new weekly feature here on Better Kansas City called The Dirt. Here's Better Homes and Gardens Editor-in-Chief Stephen Orr with some colorful tips that'll keep your shady areas bursting with interesting foliage and color year after year.
One of my favorite things about shade gardening is you can't really go wrong. Kind of naturally all look great together, and it's kind of a no-fail way to fill in those dark areas of your yard where very little else will grow. What I like to focus on is the color and texture of the leaves, and that will really make a great shade garden. Today we brought some of our favorites. These are really tried and true plants that we have a lot in our test garden. One of the big ones that you all know about probably is hostas. They're a no-fail plant. There are hundreds of varieties. Some of the new ones are these little tiny hostas that are really bred to be small. They look really good at the front of the border or at the base of a tree. Tree roots are a really hard place to plant. So these little hostas look great there. You just kind of have to pry an area out amongst the tree roots and make a pocket that you can put the soil in. And one thing that's so great about hostas is that they're really easy to divide. When they get a little too large, you just divide them up, really just hack them up with a shovel or even your hands. And then you have 3 to 5 new plants you can put wherever you want. So once you have hostas, you have them for a long time, and at some point you probably start giving them to your neighbors. Look for beautiful variegated foliage, beautiful chartreuse colors, silvers, blues, and you can just mix and match them all. They're so easy to do. One of my other plants that's a little unusual is called lungwort. It's called lungwort because it's shaped like a lung. It's spotted generally. There's lots of different hybrids. Some of them are almost pure white. Some of them are silvery and pewtered color. And then you can find some with a range even on one plant, as you can see here, of kind of a solid white and also spotted or mottled. This beautiful little bleeding heart, there's all sorts of sizes. You may know the big bleeding heart really well, but the small one is really nice and really natural looking under a tree as well. Makes a good woodland garden. One other thing I love is a big group of plants called heucheras, and heucheras are also called coral bells. They bloom, but it's really the leaves that you're growing them for. This type here is called marvelous marble, and because it looks kind of like a marbled surface, the leaves have these great variegated patterns. There's also beautiful colors that are kind of chartreuse with burgundy veins in them. This ranges from this kind of color here to one that looks a little bit more spray painted. And obviously the last group here that we have is ferns. We really love ferns because they're so easy to grow. There's all sorts of native ferns. There's some from Asia. This is a Japanese painted fern which has silver and burgundy on it. This autumn fern will have a beautiful fall display with a beautiful gold and red color. They couldn't be easier to plant as well. Sometimes people wonder how deep. It really is just the soil line that's in the pot. That should be the soil line in the soil when you put them in. And finally, the best thing about all these plants is since they're perennials, they're so carefree and they just come back year after year.
For more great gardening tips from the experts, check out Better Homes and Gardens on your phone or online at bhg.com. Better Homes and Gardens is owned by the parent company of this television station, the Meredith Corporation.